questions that I think you should ask yourself as we move through this very issue. How will we wow them, and how will we be different? What do our customers need, and why should our customers buy from us? Are we overcharging and underservicing? So let me explain dating. Dating your customer has the same thing as regular dating, and that's to get the second date. So number one, you want to dazzle your customers. That's the D in dating. Number two, it's about attitude. And attitude comes from listening more than you talk and acting delighted because you have the right attitude. Number three, T, treat the customers uniquely. Treat them so you fit their solution to a T. Be innovative in everything that you do. The gears are always turning. Solve your customers' problems. They will pay for it. Compare Apple and their products to any PC. People that have Apples have relationships with the Apple and the Apple Store and the Apple product. The moment you go to PCs, whether it's Samsung or LG or Hewlett-Packard or Ash or anybody else, it's a tool because they've never built the culture. While they may be more technologically advanced at this point, they are not engaging their customer in the same way that Apple does. And remember, you want to nurture the relationship with your customers and your employees. So I talk about internal incentives, I talk about all kinds of things that your employees should become engaged in so that they become satisfied, so that they can become advocates for you when they're talking to your customer. And remember, to guarantee the relationship, you've got to have 100% money-back guarantee, period, no exceptions. Now, you could say there is a lifelong time of this product expectancy. So if whatever occurred in the second year of a 5-year life expectancy, you can discount it. People understand the wear and tear factor. They don't expect that if a product has a problem in 2 years, you're going to give them a brand new one. But what most companies do is they should all over themselves. Think about it. We should have done this. We should have done that. So remember, you provide solutions, not deliver products. You create value, not provide services. You engage your customer, not sell to them. People don't like to be sold to, but they like to buy from. I like to buy from somebody. I have a fear of dentists. My dentist has a sign on the wall that says, "We cater to cowards." The day I saw that, I knew he was my dentist. He's not necessarily the cheapest, but he understands that my fear of dentists has to be mitigated for me to continue to there, because he is a problem solver who charged for his wisdom. When customers come to you to complain, they're giving you an opportunity to create a joint resolution. Ask them, as I said to you before, "Sir, madam, what would make you happy? How do we solve this problem?" You got the cold pizza delivery. You got the wrong pizza delivery. "Well, we'll pick up the bad one and we'll send you a new one." Well, what are they going to do with the one they picked up? You can't resell it. So the best thing is, keep it. The fellow with the broken chocolate bar, UPS will probably pay the claim. He will get to keep that broken chocolate bar, and he will get a new one. All of a sudden, he got 2 chocolate bars for the price of one and great service. What else can I do? Come up and cut it for him and plate it? I mean, it's really that kind of service that will bring him back. So one of the things that I try to have everybody do is to call their own company and be a customer. Call up your own organization and say, "I have a problem," and see what happens. I one day told my staff, no matter who calls, you solve the problem. Don't pass it to me. You have the total authority to take care of it. So I was standing in the office, phone rang. "No, he's not here." "No, I don't know when he'll be back." "No, I don't know how to reach him right now. He's in a meeting." "I'll be happy to take a message." "Absolutely. No problem." I'm standing there and I'm waving. I'm saying, "Well, whatever it is, I can take the call." "No. Yes, I'll be sure he gets the message." "Thank you." Hung up. I said, "Who was that?" She goes, "It was your mother. She wanted to know if you're coming over for Thanksgiving." I said, let's revisit how we interpret keep the call away from me. She was doing exactly what she was told. And I said to her, how are you going to wow my mother today? She says, well, I would have given the phone over to you. I said, that's exactly right. So the next time she calls, make sure that I take the call, because now I'm going to get a call from her or an email or a text going, okay, Mr. Big Shot, how come you don't have time to talk to your mother? And of course, that's exactly what it was. So remember, you cannot misunderstand the perspective of the person on the other side of the call. Try to have that empathy. Try to call in sometime and see how you treat that within your organization. And always listen. Always listen. And for those of you that are online and those that are here today, here's one of the most important pieces of information I want to share with you. When you're listening, the customer may be talking. Don't talk. The customer may be listening. Let me do that one more time. I think it's that important. Listen, because the customer may be talking. And don't talk, because the customer may be talking. And remember that the customer may not always be right, but there's no percentage in telling them that the customer is wrong. There's a grocery store on the East Coast called Stu Leonard's, and Stu Leonard has this huge boulder in front, big piece of granite. And it says, rule number 1, customer is always right. Rule number 2, if in doubt, read rule number 1. There are stories of Stu Leonard taking back products like expired milk and giving them something else. One of the most famous stories is Nordstrom's. A woman came in with snow tires and returned them to Nordstrom's. Nordstrom's gave her a full credit. Interesting thing is, Nordstrom does not sell snow tires. But she brought it in, she believed it was their job, and they took care of it. Remember, the market looks different from where the customer is standing. Remember that you cannot forecast how a customer feels or reacts. So narrow your gaps in knowledge instead of widening it. And never, 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 never talk badly about a customer. Sometimes your mic is on. We saw a president almost lose an election because a mic was on when he was getting off a bus. Never, ever talk badly about a customer. It will come back to haunt you. And when you make a mistake, learn from the mistake. Customers trust people, not companies. No customer ever gets angry about a mistake. Customers get angry that you won't solve the problem that was created. The shipment was lost. It came in broken. It wasn't the color they ordered. It wasn't. They all get that. It's the real world out there. Shift happens. But you want to ensure the fact that you've learned from it and you're making every effort you can to resolve it to their complete satisfaction. And what you do after you've reached that resolution, repeat it back to them. This was your problem. This is the resolution. If we do this, no, let me change that. When we do this, will that make you happy? Yes. Thank you very much. Then put it in writing and send it to them. Whether you do it by handwritten or text or email, whatever the communication is. But always get the customer to remember what they and you have committed to reach that joint resolution. Because people being people sometimes forget. It happens. There are really only 4 customer trusts in the world today. Quality, which everybody's got. Speed, which most people have. Convenience, which is certainly getting prevalent with the internet. And lastly, attention. And attention is the WIIFM. What's in it for me? Every perspective should be that way. Remember, here's the poor pooch. Don't get in trouble by saying, I thought somebody else took care of that. Here's the orangutan that's very sad, because reactions to what you communicate are very difficult to forecast because you don't know what kind of a day they're having. You don't know what trigger point they have. And don't set up a policy where one size fits all, because it doesn't work. Set up a policy that has a way to escalate this through a decision tree. Remember this, a customer is a human being who has feelings and money to spend with you. But a consumer is a statistic. Know the difference. For those of you that have been really, really drilling down, you notice every time the word customer came up, I capitalize it. Every time. It's my way of identifying the importance of the word customer. We do it in everything, every communication, every memo. The C in customer is capitalized. People talk about loyalty. People talk about satisfaction. Satisfaction is a minimum requirement. What you don't want satisfied customers. How was that for you? It was good. It was okay. You want wow. You want loyal. You want to be able to focus on the customers you have, to build that customer base, and then have that next move come out, because it's up to you to keep customers satisfied. And you've got to remember that corporate culture being what it is, people have all kinds of things on their own plate, their own agenda internally. So that's why in our company, we used to start every day at 8:30 in the morning till 9 with a 30-minute debrief of what happened the day before, the good news, the bad news, etc. So it never got out of a 24-hour window. Which brings me to this. If you say to your customer, I'm going to call you at 3 o'clock, but you don't have the answer, call him at 3 o'clock and say, I don't have the answer. Don't wait until the next day to tell him, because between 3 o'clock and the next day, he's on that upward trajectory of getting angry. You make a commitment for 3 o'clock, call him at 3 o'clock and say, it's taking a little longer. They're happy. Don't call them, they're unhappy. And remember that customers are now connected. Customers can talk to one another. And every person in some way, in somehow, is a salesperson. And truly great customer service affects everybody, every process, every level, every organization. So today as you leave here, bring big picture thinking, because you have to do more with less, and you've got to have your ducks in a row. So when you lay out the world as we know it, it's technology, people, service, products, and notice the biggest one is people. It's all about people. And people will share their knowledge with others. They will make the experience great for you if you make it great for them. And they know your customer. They know what you've done for other people because they all talk to one another. Do it right the first time, you won't have to do it again. Offer surprises, like we send out birthday cards and greeting cards, etc. Ask them for advice, and at the end of the day, make it easy and convenient. Make them feel valued, and for sure, engage the customers where they are. So here it is. What's dating your customer all about? Dating your customer is really quite simple. You be genuinely helpful. You don't take anything personally. Remember that trouble spells opportunity for you. Use it. Reinforce the WIIFM. Create a joint resolution. Be impeccable with your word. And say yes to wow. You guys have been great. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Remember to start dating your customers so that you can start to electrify your organization and shock your customers. Thank you.